What do Medvedev's vodka storage, a sock seller from Yakutsk, and an average criminal from Ryazan have in common? They all believe that Odesa is an originally Russian city.
And who did you vote for? In our country, there is only one president. I told you, Odesa is a Russian city, and I'm from Odesa.
For a Russian patriot, Odesa is as much a sacred value as beating your wife over bad cabbage soup. Every self-respecting Z-patriot wants so badly to liberate Russians in Odesa that they're ready to wipe out all the Russians in Odesa to do it.
I said, you have 24 hours to leave the cities and then level them to hell. Odesa is an unnecessary city anyway. We'll just rebuild it from scratch.
At the start of the full-scale invasion, Odesa was the main target for the occupiers after Kyiv. Putin and his minions were literally obsessed with the southern Palmyra. They were already divvying up coastal land plots on the map. Only the mute ultra-patriots weren't shouting about taking Odesa.
Allah will take Odesa, Kharkiv, Kyiv, and Potemka too. We're advancing thanks to all the structures, units, and nations, faiths that have united today around the call of our president.
But then the army of darkness was stopped and crushed near Mykolaiv and Kherson. The fleet, which had planned an amphibious operation, was humiliated and driven back behind the curb. 100% Putin dreamed of entering the port of Odesa on the cruiser Moskva, but something went wrong. It sank. As a result, even for the most fanatical imperialists, Odesa remained only in their damp, sorrowful dreams. And propaganda was left with nothing but spreading fairy tales among the population about an originally Russian city that Ukrainians should return voluntarily.
I don't think Odesa would have been here. Well, we wouldn't have taken Odesa. If we take it before Trump's inauguration, then yes. But what is meant are the territories that will be ours at that moment. Our president has never once spoken about Odesa, and I've asked him many times, including publicly.
Really?
Yes.
That's a bold statement.
In reality, Odesa is just as much a Russian city as Kaliningrad or Kazan. The Russians simply once captured it and carried out a genocide of the local population. The myth of Russian Odesa only began to emerge in the mid-19th century, because even Catherine II, who supposedly founded the city, would have been surprised by this news herself. The Empress merely gave the order to build a port in the already existing city of Kajibi. And this is written in black and white in her decree, with her own signature. Respecting the advantageous position of Kajibi on the Black Sea and the benefits associated with it, we have deemed it necessary to establish a naval harbor there, along with a merchant quay. Oops! So what does this mean? Did the Empress not read Medinsky's textbook? Yes, at the very least she's an agent. Well, that's actually true. After all, she's German. That's a bit awkward. They simply built a port in the city of Kajibi. It's like considering the opening of Domodedovo as the founding date of Moscow.
Wonderful. Amazing. Brilliant.
But even if we examine the inflamed logic of Kremlin propaganda and accept the nonsense that Odesa was founded by Catherine, it is still unclear what the Russians have to do with it. The city was founded by order of a German woman, Spaniard José de Ribas, and Frenchman de Richelieu. The chief architect was the Dutchman de Voillon, and the city itself was given a Greek name. Show me a single Yamelia or Vanka in this equation.
Hey, Mutt, where do you think you're going? We
will no longer discuss an alternative reality and will return to the real history of the city. People have lived on the site of modern Odesa since ancient times, and these people were not Russians. Because at that time, Russians were still sitting in trees and paying tribute to beavers. As early as the 5th to 6th centuries BC, there were already Greek settlements on this site, outposts of the Alvian and Tarasian polis. After the Greeks, the Huns and Avars roamed Odesa region, and now hold on tight to your pale moth, the Pechenegs and Polovtsians.
What is this, really? They've completely lost their minds. And
then things get really interesting. In the 13th century, the region came under the influence of the Golden Horde, and the first fortress fortifications appeared on the site of Odesa. Then the Horde weakened, and its army was defeated at the Battle of Blue Waters. No, not by the Russians, but by the Lithuanians. After that, the entire Black Sea region became part of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, and it was the Lithuanians who founded the city of Kochubayev, which is also known as Kadzhibey. There is a document from 1415 that confirms this. So Odesa is more of a Lithuanian city than a Russian one.
Lithuania Days have started in Odesa. They are taking place from June 14th to 18th in the city garden. The event is organized by the Embassy of the Republic of Lithuania in Ukraine and the Honorary Consulate of the Republic of Lithuania in Odesa, with the support of the Odesa City Council.
By the way, as a result of the victory at Blue Waters, Lithuania gained not only Kadzhibey, but also Kyiv. So they were already part of the same state back then.
Now that's a twist.
Russian propagandists and so-called mommies historians love to feed the masses the lie that Odesa supposedly wasn't built on the site of Kadzhibey. They claim that city was nearby and that Catherine founded Odesa in an open field where not even a horse had set foot. And besides, Kadzhibey supposedly wasn't even a city, just a small, insignificant village. This myth was perpetuated even during Soviet times. But archival documents from the 18th century prove the opposite. They describe in detail that Kadzhibey had a huge, powerful fortress, and it was located right in the center of modern-day Odesa. This has been confirmed by modern archaeological excavations.
Georadar studies have shown that the digging should be done between the Duke and the funicular, 20 meters from that point. From the very first excavation there, they actually discovered the walls themselves.
The remains of the Kadzhibey fortress.
How inconvenient this turns out to be. Both Catherine II, the documents, and archaeology confirm that Odesa was not founded by the Russians. The Russians conquered it. But that's long in the past. Now Odesa is Ukraine, and the Russians failed to conquer it a second time.
They got nothing.
Now the occupiers are bombing the southern Palmyra with the cruelty of maniacs. They genuinely don't understand why the people of Odesa hate them. Why are they taking down the monuments to Catherine and the first propagandist Pushkin? Why, in the first days of the invasion, did the people of Odesa come out en masse to build fortifications to resist the landing? And we, that suit, we neither inherited nor loved, and we, our glorious Ukraine, wind forever. Unfortunately, there are still some primitive swamp-dwelling life forms in Odesa who dream of seeing Russian tanks on Deribasovskaya Street. They rejoice at the bombings and with their whole Soviet soul, love Putin.
So how is Ukrainian different from Russian? Nah, fuck that. Even our jaws are different here. I couldn't even speak Ukrainian if I tried. My bones must be arranged differently or something.
But there are very few of these individuals left. Because even the most pathological Russophiles can't ignore the reality that Russia is pure evil.
In war, it's not about being this way or that way. It's about being fierce. Fierce, breaking the enemy's will to resist. So I'll say it again. Now we finally started to wipe them out for good. There will be no life in Kharkiv, nor in Poltava, nor in Mykolaiv, nor in Odesa. These cities will be gone, and so will Kyiv.
Odesa has never been a Russian city, and it definitely never will be. More likely, Odesa will become a NATO base, which is exactly what the Muscovites were so afraid of. A post-war security guarantee plan for Ukraine is already being discussed, under which a European military contingent could be stationed in Odesa. And French and British warships will be based in the port.
The French carrier strike group is the backbone of France's naval power. It includes the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle, frigates, at least one nuclear submarine, a supply tanker, and the ship's air wing.
Odesa could become the strongest naval base in the Black Sea, and Ukraine, one of the most powerful maritime nations in the region.
I would like to remind you that this video is created for entertainment purposes. and contains elements of satire and irony. All facts and events are presented in a hyperbolized or exaggerated form to convey a comedic or dramatic effect. Our goal is not to mislead, but to highlight humor. Please take it with a smile.